G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. So we've got a huge tropical low, a big storm forecast for tomorrow here in, well, not quite so sunny at the moment, Brisbane. So I thought I'd give you a quick look. We'll videotape this as it unfolds. It could be a dud, but that's alright. That'll let you see what precautions we have to go through anyway. So step number one, check the drainage. So I go around and just check all these sort of open covers are clean. They're not covered in rubbish that would stop the water getting in. Hopefully between those, all of the drainages have been checked. Underneath the yard here, there's a depression. You probably can see the difference where the wood is. That's all drained underneath with slotted aggregation pipe, which drags it down and along the side of the back of the garage here and into that stormwater there. But I've checked, there's another one of those drains near my shed out the back near Compost Corner. I've checked it too. I've checked the concrete sort of box gutters. They're all clear of debris, which is great. There could be gusty, so anything that's small and likely to fly I'll take inside. Not going to worry about that sort of stuff. It's reasonably weighty, so I don't think it'll go anywhere. It's not a cyclone, it's just a couple of tropical lows coming together. We'll look over here at the chook house. Since I'm right beside it, you can see we've already had that plasticed over just to make sure no rain gets in the nesting boxes. On the roof you can see we've added extra rubber matting just to make sure the same thing happens there. And up above the immediate area, the cooch, you can see the leaves are sitting on clear plastic corrugated roofing, which allows all of the water there, instead of sitting in the guts of the coop, to run down and drop in my aquaponic grow bed, which should be handy. Remember, all that setup is also under a bloody great big tree, which is good. So that'll stop a lot of it hitting the chooks. Quails are a bit more of a challenge, but the bottom bits are sheltered on the left hand side by the aquaponics bed. The top one, which is more exposed, you can see I've got clear plastic hung down all over that. It's weighted down with some bloody heavy pieces of wood. The other thing we've got here, and I'll come over and show you, which I might actually drop down now, is this bamboo matting. It's not perfect obviously, but if it hails or something, it'll slow the hail down hitting the quails. That leaves the sides exposed, which I'm not all that worried about. There's an overhang on the roof of that one. This one's also got iron to make sure water doesn't run down straight onto the quails. And if you look around that plastic there, you'll see there's an overhanging corrugated iron roof there. It's unlikely that we'll get much water, torrential rain coming that way, because it's clearly sheltered by the house, which is a good thing. Now what I will get rid of is those feeders and that little sweeper. That box there is full of quail food. It weighs about 30 kilos, so it's probably not going anywhere. And those weed and feed bags, they're bloody heavy as hell too, so I'm not worried about them either. There's that gutter drain near the shed door I was talking about, so you can see that's cleared. That shed door will be bolted shut, so it's not going to fly open and have water go in there everywhere. Remember, after the last great tank astrophy debacle, I added that overflow there, which means the tank won't overflow. And that top black pipe there is also an overflow for the grow bed, so if it overflows, it runs into the tank. And then the tank overflow comes out the side here. So I'll use as much as humanly possible. And after that, the rest can drop down onto the ground. And as it happens, under that leg there is about where that drainage starts, the ag pipe that I talked about before. So most of that gets taken away pretty quickly. I mean, I do pool in the backyard. And anyone who saw the last storm video I did will know this goes like a bloody swimming pool. We've had a couple of days notice, so had time to get things fixed up, and like I say, I'll videotape what happens. If it's a dud, it doesn't matter, because I do like to fix things up every so often anyway, just because you'll get a storm occasionally we didn't forecast. And we'll see how we go, eh? Wish me luck, guys. So the sky actually doesn't look too bad at the moment. The sun's out, but I've just had a little listen to the news on the TV, and they're predicting now it's going to get worse than originally thought. So it could be up to 30 centimetres, 300 mil, which is around about 12 inches. Okay, so we've got a hell of a lot of water in the backyard. Looks like a swimming pool, look at that. Yeah, there's a lot of water out there, folks. It's pouring down. It's been pouring down for hours. Blowing so hard and fast on this one side. We've got water coming in through. It's at the bottom of the window somehow, around the window edges, which is pretty amazing. I haven't seen that before. So you can see how much water's fallen by the amount in the Japanese garden fountain. Holy mackerel, that's a lot of water, folks. Oh yeah, and a little creek out the front's running well and truly. Holy cow, look at that. Well, here's the worst of it, I'm afraid. So the roofs are leaking. That container there is catching water. It's coming in from the roof, which I'll go upstairs and show you. So this is the ceiling upstairs. You can see what's going on here. Oh dear, that's right beside the skylight. And I've actually got water leaking out that downlight there. You can see it's really blowing a gale. Things are whipping around. Water's absolutely bucketing down. I'm actually inside. I'm not going to go out on the veranda. It's just too wet.
Correction flood watches on them to actually go for a warning as the rainfall in those areas increases. And it's not just the heavy rain and flooding.
So the weather system's down virtually the entire east coast of Australia, from north of me all the way down to Tasmania. It's pretty amazing. We're getting reports on the TV all over the place of flooding. So I'm actually counting my lucky stars now. So the worst of it's over. I'm actually going to go around for a drive around the neighbourhood. You can see there's a fair bit of water still running down the gutter here. Like I say, most of the rain's actually stopped. Yeah, that's that little creek at the bottom of my street. It's certainly running. That's a fair bit of water in there. Last time I did a flood video, it was actually worse than that, so I've probably been lucky. So this is low down the hill. That thing there is a telecommunications pit. You can see the water's just pouring back up through that pit. That's the big drain down the bottom. Now that normally is a bit of a sports ground. Kids play footy and soccer and cricket there. They walk the dogs there. But it's obviously a drain when it really pours down. That's not too bad. I've seen it a lot worse. So clearly there's significant water, you know, a lot of runoff. Oh look, there's a couple of, I don't know if you can see them, there's ducks. There's a bright side in this weather for everyone, eh? A couple of little ducks down there for a swim. Yeah, so we've had a lot of water. Like I say, I've seen it worse. You can see the high water mark, so it clearly was running a lot deeper than that before. But no, I'd say, look, we've dodged a bullet this time. You can see how much water drips through that light. That's amazing. There's almost an inch in there. Bloody hell. Straight out the light. I can see up there's very sodden. That's going to require some fair deal of repair. Oh dear. So I found one little quail was on his back, soaking wet, and shivering cold. So I brought him in. We're warming him up. I've dried him with a towel, and he's loving the hand warmth that he's getting. He's drying out, and he looks like he's recovering. Bobby's sitting right beside me. He's got his little foot on my arm just to let me know that I'm here, Dad. And Benny's just watching the whole thing. He's thinking, what's going on here? Why aren't I involved? I'm not the centre of attention. And so the rain gauge is telling me we got 196.7 millimetres, folks. That's not bad.
It's dangerous currents as a result of the high surf and the outflows of these rivers that are becoming swollen with the extra rain.
So, Greg, just remind us of the areas that you think will be most impacted, and when do you think the worst will hit those areas? Warning to people to avoid the floodwaters.